outcome to look a bit lighter. So even if you're making this for your vanilla cake, if you want it to be lighter, you can cream your butter for a period of time anyway. Maximum depending on the mixer or whether you're using hand or stand mixer. You can do it for like few minutes. I don't know, maybe like 3 minutes or thereabouts. So ignore my miss. I didn't properly face the bowl. That's why I shifted. So I started by creaming the butter to make it a bit lighter before I added the sugar. Okay, so this is I just had to scrape. You see what I'm trying to say? Make it a bit lighter before you add the sugar. So you can cream this for 3 to 5 minutes depending on the mixer you're using anyway. So you add the sugar. I'm using a white caster sugar. Okay, you add the sugar. So I'm going to cream this until it gets a bit more lighter and fluffier. Yeah, so remember always to scrape your bowls or whatever you're using to cream. Remember to scrape the side and bowls to be sure that everything is getting mixed properly at the same time. So you know that some mixtures can stick to the bowl side and then you don't know you're missing. So you can see the mixture is a bit lighter and fluffy. That's when I started adding the eggs. Yeah, I'm adding the egg in between. Just add and then allow it to cream before you add the remaining one anyways. So this is the eggs that is in. The next thing that should follow is the flour and baking powder. Okay, flour and baking powder. So allow this to properly mix in. See, another option I always keep on mentioning this in my video is that you can get your eggs whisked. So if you're not careful, if you don't know how to manage with your time, to avoid your cakes getting over mixed, you can whisk your egg before you pour it into your cake batters anyway. So I'm going to add some part of the flour, and then I'm going to you remember what we are making is cookies and cream. So I'm using a double cream. We call it double cream here or anywhere, I don't know. Some people call it whipped cream. So I'm gonna use the double cream. So I try to whisk, shake it a bit so that I'm sure it's properly mixed or blended together. So I'm going to be doing a portion of the flour and a portion of and every part of the whipped cream. So this is this whipped cream has been in the fridge, although I brought it out earlier, but it's a bit creamier than what we have back in Nigeria. So it's a bit thick. So yours might not be thick, but this one I got was a bit thicker, so it's okay. So I add the remaining part of the flour. So at this point, I need to put it in a transparent bowl so that you see how the mixture goes. So there's the secrets behind these cookies and cream. Remember I said this is the simplest, but at the same time it's not, because I found that if you keep on doing things the way other, so you have to do your things differently. Okay, you have to do things differently. You don't have to do the same thing everybody's doing. So I transferred to a transparent bowl so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to add some bits of cookies. Cookies. I'm using Oreos cookies. You can use cookies of your choice. There's one time a customer asked me to use digestive biscuit instead, so I went ahead and used that. So why probably people use Oreos? Because of the colors it shows is dark in color, so it's gonna show in your cake. So I added a bit of chocolate chips. You can use a milk chocolate, you can use any chocolate, cream, anything chocolate of your choice. So I added a bit of chocolate chips, and you can see I'm trying as much as possible to fold this in. So some people might like to break their cookies more how do I say it, more smaller, but I like my having chunks in it. I don't want it to look all dark and all that, so I do break my cookies with a little chunks in it. So I'm going to pour this in the pan, and that is the secret, that where the secret comes in. I'm going to pour this in a pan, and then we say that, can someone guess what do you think I'm going to put extra? I'm sure you didn't get the answer, do you? So this is what I do, kind of marble-ish. But what I do is that I always make cookies and cream with some bits of chocolate in between. That is what makes you stand out in your cakes. So this is a chocolate cake batter. And you know, chocolate cake is so light, and it's going to make these cakes very yummy and different. And someone is eating your cookies cake and wondering, why is this cookies and cream tasting differently? They don't know. You didn't tell them, but that's what makes you stand out. So you can't keep on doing the same thing you have been doing all years, and then someone else is doing something different, and you think, why is she getting all the customers? So you need to sometimes sit down and think, how do I do my cakes to make it stand out differently? And your customers are eating it, they don't even know this is a chocolate cake batter in between the layers of cookies and cream. So I'm going to garnish the top. This is a preference depending on what you want anyways. I'm going to garnish the top with some cookies as well and some chocolate chips, and then I'm going to pour more a little chocolate on top of it. So depending on how rich you want your cake is, that is why some people know how to really need to know how to do their calculations. There's no way you can add all this and your cookies and cream is the same price with your normal vanilla cakes. So you need to be calculative, and at the same time you need to be sensible with the way you run your business as well. So if you are choosing this part of making your butter so rich, you should also know how to do your calculations. So the cake is out, so you can see how yummy this looks. We're going to flip the pan over. Then this cake, please just try it out and please give me an honest feedback of how it went. You can use your normal cookies and cream recipe, but just mix it up like I did and then give me a feedback. So please support me, motivate me, encourage me to do more of these videos by subscribing to this channel, by liking, by commenting, by sharing this video. It really encouraged me to do more and share behind the scene of how I've been perfecting my cake recipes, on how I've been exceptional in my cake recipe. I don't really like doing what other people do. That's what makes me stand out. I like doing things differently. So this is why I do my cookies and cake differently. And please subscribe to this channel and share encouraging words to me to make me to share more of this stuff. So we're going to cut our cakes, and then inside of our cake, and you're going to see how beautiful and yummy this cake is. Please don't forget to try this out and then share, comment, and then like this video. Thank you. Bye-bye.